Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to another video. um, yeah, I don't quite remember what it is I had intended on talking about, but I think, I guess what I'm feeling right now in the moment is kind of this idea of the divine feminine, right? And just kind of how the divine feminine has kind of been on the rise recently, seeing this movement of empowerment amongst women, a building of community amongst women. The more feminine qualities starting to emerge more in the vision of how we want things to be, right? A movement away from this patriarchy that we have been under for so long, and a recognition that there's a need for balance, right? And we don't want to now go completely into all, feminine qualities and traits, but it's about balancing the two and recognizing the need and the beauty in both, right? And I think there's also this emergence of true and deep self-love. So many people really and truly embracing their truths. I myself on this journey and coming to a point of being able to really embrace myself and who I am, and embracing every aspect of myself, and allowing myself to share certain aspects of myself that I feel called to share without feeling any shame or fear around it, you know? Yeah. I think with the divine feminine is also taking back of the power that we have over our bodies, right? And this is men and women alike, not just women. Yes, in general, when you think of over-sexualization of the human body, it's the woman's body that is generally, over-sexualized. And a lot of times when women do want to express themselves, more sexually, and, embrace that side of themselves, they're often, what's the word? Persecuted for it. Not, that's a strong word, right? I feel like it's kind of strong. That's not the one I was going for. But I think you get what I mean, right? It hasn't always been accepted for women to really embrace their sexuality, their sensuality, to embrace the desires that they have, you know. And I think that it's time that we stop shaming women for loving and embracing their bodies and being brave and confident enough to share that, you know. And this doesn't mean that all women need to now present themselves in a more, sexual and sensual way. It just means that we should all feel free to express ourselves as authentically as we desire, you know. And we should be able to show up as our full, complete self without feeling fear or shame around it. We shouldn't have to mute ourselves to make other people comfortable, right? I think it's important that we start allowing ourselves to truly be ourselves completely and show up as the divine goddesses, goddesses that we are, right? The gods and goddesses that we are. And allow ourselves to let go of the shame and the fear that we tend to have around that, you know. The shame that we have around our bodies and, how we portray them in the public. I think just more of an acceptance of everyone as they are is needed, you know. And I think that acceptance comes the more that we allow ourselves to be fearless and to really show up as who we are unapologetically and as loud as possible. To lead the way for others that might be hiding their true selves. You know, so many of us are. I know for me, definitely so much of my, you know, I have worked a lot on being able to really and truly be my authentic self in all spaces with all people. And it's, a work in progress. It's like an onion, peeling back all the layers, letting go of all the fears. But I just think it's important that we continue as a collective to really work towards that, work towards letting go of the fears of how other people perceive us. We spend so much time worrying about the perception of others that we miss out on all this time to really and truly tune into our own desires and wants, to really live the life that we want to live, I don't know, I think I kind of went a little bit all over the place with it, I don't know. I can't really remember exactly how I started out and how I got to where I got. Hopefully it flowed. Hopefully, I'm gonna stop there. But yeah. Allow yourself to recognize the divine being that you are, right? And embrace every aspect of you. Love every aspect of you and let go of all the fears of letting that inner you. Oh, damn, I hit myself so hard with that one. It's like why? But allow yourself to to let your true self shine through completely, you know. Yeah. Let this be a year that we stop hiding, you know, and we allow the world to see, you know, how we can live differently and be differently. Be different. But yeah. I think maybe I'll pull a card. Um, I think I'm going to pull from the Starseed Oracle deck. Oh, yeah, I love all my decks. Okay. Realizing that it's just, ooh, a long time of just you watching me shuffle. Should have had some filler. And this one is You Got the Love. Hadarian energy, codependency, boundaries. Boundaries. Yes, boundaries are important. You know, difficult, but important. Well, difficult if you've been someone that um, wasn't used to setting boundaries before. You know, that's something that definitely has been a learning experience for me. Setting and maintaining boundaries. You can set them, but maintaining them is really, yeah. Words. They weren't coming. Fill in the blanks. Okay. You got the love. The Hidarians are believed to be beacons of pure, divine, unconditional love who see love in all people and situations. As a result, they can find it hard to have boundaried, interdependent, healthy relationships because they only see the unconditional nature of those they meet. The lovers of the cosmos, they dive in fast. They're here to learn how to love while in a separate body, to learn to love self first and then establish healthy relationships with others, to remember that the love they seek is already within them, that they truly do have the love all on their own. The message of this card is to review the ways you may need to establish healthier boundaries. Perhaps you're in a codependent relationship in which you may be losing your sense of self. It's common for starseeds to dive deep into relationships, particularly with those who feel safe and familiar at a soul level. Perhaps you're in a relationship in which you give more than you receive. Or perhaps there's a certain volatility to it and you're always unsure where you stand. This card is a sign to do a relationship review and see what energetic agreements you've made, consciously or unconsciously. To acknowledge if there are relationships in which you feel anxious or powerless, in which you don't feel like it's safe to relax and just be you. To assess if there are any places of inadequacy that you've used a relationship to soothe and cover up. And then the Starseed Soul Inquiry. Do you lose yourself in relationships? If so, how? How can you develop a deeper love for yourself? Self-love. We can sometimes lose ourselves in relationships, and not just romantic relationships, friendships, familial relationships, the relationships we have with our coworkers, right? There is this idea that we need to present as a certain type of person in certain situations. This is appropriate for this place, but not for that place. And this idea that who you are at your core isn't good enough for every space that you enter. And that's just not true. I think it's important that you find that self-love and that self-acceptance, and you embrace every aspect of yourself and realize that who you are at your core is absolutely beautiful, and that you are 100% as you are worthy of love, respect, and understanding, right? So allow yourself to be yourself, to show up as yourself in every situation, in every circumstance, with every person, right? Allow yourself to be yourself always, unapologetically, and loud as fuck. And I don't mean loud as in volume, but be you completely. Don't hold back on who you are. Don't mute any aspects of yourself to make people feel comfortable, right? I think we have learned, we have been conditioned to do that. We have been conditioned to believe that there are certain aspects of ourselves that aren't appropriate, and that those are, you know, I don't know how to, I'm not finding the words exactly to take that route, so I won't. But all of you is perfectly, you are perfect as you are. Right? Um, you know, on this healing journey, as you go within and you heal your traumas and you begin to take accountability for your life, you take accountability for everything in your life, and recognize that focusing on the things outside of you that are making you feel negatively, that's that doesn't help you to that's not helping you heal, right? I think one of the biggest realizations for me on my healing journey was that it's not anyone outside of myself that I need to change so that I can feel better, right? People on the outside of me don't need to act differently. They don't need to do anything differently to make me feel better. I needed to change my perception of things. I needed to change the way that I saw myself, the way that I saw other people. I needed to shift my perspective, right? And stop seeing things as happening to me. Stop seeing others as causing my problems or causing whatever pains it is that I was going through, right? Regardless of if people said or did hurtful things, once they have done that part, the healing part is my responsibility. That I have to take accountability for. No one else can do that part for me. No one else can do that part for you, right? Healing is your responsibility, and nobody owes anything to you. As harsh as it might sound, nobody does. we are responsible for our own healing. Um, yeah, I'm not sure where else I was going to go with that. But I think we just need to try to focus more inward. We can get really caught up in that story outside of ourselves. You know, how this person is behaving in this way, and because they're behaving in this way, this is what's happening with me. You know, so they need to stop doing what they're doing so that I can feel good. You know, you could be waiting forever. You know, if you need people outside of you to change in order for you to find your happiness, then you're giving them power over you. You're not fully in control of your life, right? You need to take back that control. Take that power back. Take your power back. You know, we give away our power so easily. It's time to take it back. You know? Take accountability for your life. Take responsibility for your healing. It's yours. No one else's. No matter what anyone has done or said to you, no matter how hurtful, no matter how painful, the responsibility of healing is on you. And I know that it can be difficult to, you know, to take our focus off of those things outside of us, but that's really what it takes. Going within, healing within. All right. With that, I believe I am complete. Yeah. If you made it this far, thank you for tuning in. Yeah. I believe that's all. Sending you so much love and light. Bye. So I just watched, well, I didn't even finish it actually, but I was watching what I recorded before, previously. You know, the stuff you just watched. Possibly, I don't know if you made it this far. Well, if you're hearing this, then obviously you did. It's the other people that didn't. Beyond the point. Um, but I think something that is also important that I left out within this card. This card is assigned to do a relationship review and see what energetic agreements you've made consciously or unconsciously, right? I know I spoke a lot about the inner work that you have to do to, you know, that real inner healing work that needs to be done. But something that accompanies that is making changes in the external, you know, making changes in your life, making changes in different relationships, right? Taking a review of the different relationships in your life and the different energetic agreements, and really evaluating which ones are still serving you and which ones aren't, right? And allowing yourself to let go of the ones that aren't. Release the things that are no longer serving you. And this isn't just romantic relationships, again, you know, this friendships, situations, jobs, a plethora of things that we are giving our energy to that are no longer serving us, things that we are putting our energy towards, but we are not receiving anything from it, right? Take stock of everything in your life and allow yourself to release anything that isn't bringing you joy. Release anything that's only bringing stress and pain and anxiety, you know? An example, something that I had to give up, watching the news. I used to consume that nonstop, right? And since stopping, it has done wonders for my mental health, right? There is so much anxiety that we gain from watching the news, from looking at the way that they portray the news, the way that they relay that information to us, right? A lot of it is heavily embedded with fear, right? And that's what we need to move away from. And this doesn't mean that we don't stay informed with what is going on in the world. There are different ways to stay informed, right? Watching mainstream media is not the only way that we can get the information about what's going on in the world. But really taking into account the things that we're consuming, the things that we're giving our energy towards. Yeah. I think that is also a part of this healing journey, this journey to self-love, right? Because loving yourself incorporates the things that you consume. You know, how you show yourself love. You show yourself love with the things that you're consuming, because they all have an effect on you, right? Take care of your body, take care of your mind, take care of your heart, your soul. Yeah. I believe that is all. I'm not sure if there was anything else I had. Yeah. Yeah. Set those boundaries. You don't have to give your energy to things that you don't want to things that don't feel resonant for you. If it doesn't feel right, you don't have to do it. Right? Allow yourself to let it go. Yeah. All right. And with that, now I am complete and I bid you adieu. Again, sending so much love and light. Bye.